The Kremlin confirmed major defense platforms, including discussions on the Sukhoi Su-57 stealth fighters, are on the agenda for the meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin. The Duma has formalized a crucial military cooperation pact with India. India has embarked on its boldest quest to modernize its combat aviation arsenal to acquire 2 squadrons of Russia's most sophisticated 5th generation fighter, the Sukhoi Su-57. The plan envisions an initial fly-away purchase of 36 to 40 aircrafts, followed by comprehensive technology transfer to enable local production at HAL's Nashik facility. That's what sources are saying. The Su-57 represents Russia's leap into 5th generation technology, emphasizing stealth, sensor fusion, and multi-role adaptability. Let's understand how it's a huge tech improvement over powerful 4th generation fighters such as F-16, MiG-29, and Su-27. The Su-57 incorporates radar-absorbing materials under a reduced radar cross-section. 4th generation fighters like Su-27 or MiG-29 lack advanced stealth shaping and coatings. It features advanced sensor fusion, AESA radar, and infrared search and track system. 4th gen jets rely on older mechanically scanned radars and less integrated avionics. It is equipped with thrust vectoring engines, and it can perform better maneuvers. The jet has strong agility but not the same post-stall maneuvering capability. It carries weapons internally to preserve strength, and its radar signature is smaller. When I say radar signature is smaller, it means it's very difficult to get them on the radar. It's designed for both air superiority and strike missions with advanced precision guided munitions. Jet are often optimized for one role, requiring variants for different missions, but in this case you can use them differently. It integrates electronic warfare suite and countermeasures for modern threats, and jets have more limited self-protection systems. It can share data seamlessly with other platforms, enhancing battlefield awareness. The fighters have less advanced communication and networking system, the 4th generation, but Su-57 has longer operational range and endurance due to improved aerodynamics and fuel efficiency. The 4th gen fighters generally have shorter range. Su-57 cockpits are different, more advanced. 4th gen are older analog, semi-digital, but Su-57 is far better. It's but still limited in production and deployment. 4th gen fighters are widely produced and form the backbone of many air forces, but Su-57 is designed with upgrade potential for future weapons and systems. 4th gen are reaching the limits of modernization. So in multiple ways they are very different. I am joined by Air Commodore Dr. Ashpinder Singh Bahal, Defense and Strategy expert. Sir, my first question is, what gap will Su-57 fill, and how is it different, sir, from the Americans and the Chinese versions, which are very, very expensive?
Karthikeya, first of all, thank you very much for getting me and inviting me to this great show, which I love a lot.
Thank you.
And you have covered a lot of points, So there are a lot of things that you have already covered, but I can go and elaborate on that better way in terms of more technically, so as to explain how it can fill the gap, technological gap. Currently, we have close to 516 combat aircrafts, out of which 259 to 260 are Su-30 MKI, which is the 4th generation, and there are about 36 or so Rafale, which is 4.5 generation, which is low observability aircraft. And when we talk of Su-57, we are looking at a 5th generation stealth fighter. Now, what do you mean by stealth? The way stealth means that there are 3 signatures of an aircraft. First is the radar cross section, or a signature it paints on a radar screen, which is either on ground or in air, which is trying to pick up a hostile threat or an aircraft or an unmanned aerial vehicle. So this radar cross section means what is the type of signature and at what distance it can pick up. So when we talk of Sukhoi 57, we are talking of a radar cross section of 0.1 to 1 square meters. When we are talking of Su-30 MKI, which is a fourth generation, we are looking at a radar cross section of 4 square meters to 12 square meters. So you can imagine an aircraft that can be picked up at roughly 200 to 250 kilometers. In case of a Su-57, it will be picked up probably between 50 to 100 kilometers. Now, and the best thing about their signature is not just the signature itself. The radar fitted on a Su-57, it is NO36 Balka radar, which has a range of 400 kilometers, and it can pick up stealth aircraft at about 90 kilometers. And stealth is which one? Like F-35 or J-35 aircraft. In fact, they are saying that the F-35 and J-35, which is the fifth generation of America and China, can be picked up between 110 to 120 kilometers. It is phenomenal good, that radar. But when they talk of giving us Su-57, they're also talking of co-development. They're also talking of transfer of technology, 100%. They're also talking of giving us the source code. You know, the problem with Rafale or the Mirage 2000, though they are damn good aircraft, is that we don't have their source code. So we cannot fit in Virupaksha gallium nitride, our own indigenously produced radar, which is manufactured in India by LRDE. So we can't fit that on a Mirage 2000 or a Rafale, but we can fit it on a Su-57, we can fit it on a Su-30 MKI.
So for a general viewer, how is a 4.5 generation or 4th generation aircraft at a disadvantage from a 5th generation aircraft in air?
Okay, so let's look at Rafale. Rafale is a 4.5 generation low observability. Low observability means the ranges at which it can be picked up would be larger than the ranges at which a Su-57 will be picked up. So the stealth characters, it's not a stealth aircraft. Stealth aircraft, the radar cross section is much lower. And also the heat signature is much lower. We always talk of radar cross section. We rarely talk of heat signature. You had mentioned something like infrared search and tracking system. The infrared search and tracking systems are fitted on different fighter aircraft, like Su-57 has an exceptionally good IRST, infrared search and tracking. So even if it doesn't pick up an aircraft on its radar, it can pick it up by the heat signature of that aircraft which it picks up on its IRST, which means the sensor fusion is such that whether it picks up from the radar, its radar or IRST, it can still show it on its own screen that there is a threat emerging and this is the type of threat. So the thing that we talk of Su-57 and extremely important is that it has got a sensor fusion of a very high order compared to Rafale. Now the Rafale that they are going to offer us is the Rafale F4, which is an advanced version of the F3 that we have today. At the same time, it cannot match the capabilities or stealth of that of the Su-57. But more than that, you know, there is something called supermaneuverability. You are showing the aerobatics of a
Yes.
Su-57. You showed how it stands up virtually in the air,
Yes.
and thereafter, you know, it changes direction and
Yes,
can now
we'll play the
instead
visual.
of going.
We'll play the visual
Absolutely.
because you're referring to that.
Absolutely.
Let's play those. Yes.
Yes, look like this, you know, this is called super maneuverability with high agility. Agility means changing the direction of your aircraft very quickly. Look at it the way it changes its direction. And now from going away, it can come and attack you. So that is the kind of super maneuverability. Why does it have super maneuverability? You know, it has thrust vectoring, which means its exhausts of the engines can be changed. And when its exhaust can be changed, means it can be tilted. The aircraft instantly turns, and that is the reason why the aircraft, the maneuverability or the agility of this aircraft is phenomenal. It cannot be matched by any other aircraft in the world today.
Sir, how many 5th generation aircrafts are war tested, sir? Is Su-57 war tested? And what do Americans have as 5th generation and the Chinese?
Yeah, the 5th generation that Americans have is F-35. They have produced 1,000 number plus of this aircraft, and it has been war tested in a number of scenarios. So when we look at the 5th generation aircraft of China, there are two: Su-20, I stand corrected, J-20 and J-35. They also have a prototype of J-36, which is a 6th generation. prototype that they have already flown, by two different companies, that is Shenyang and Chengdu. So they have also developed sixth generation, whereas we are developing our fifth generation Namka, which is at design stage. Now here is a fifth generation of Su-57, which has taken part in Russia-Ukraine war. In May 2022, it fired a long-range missile. You know, the beauty of Su-57 is that it can launch Kinzhal missile, which has a range of 2,000 kilometers and a speed of Mach 10, which means it's hypersonic, 10 times the speed of sound. And therefore, it cannot be intercepted by any other. Now, we are looking at a Su-57. When they give it to us, they're also giving us an air-to-air missile, which has a range of 300 to 400 kilometers, R-37R. But the best part is when they give us 100% transfer of technology, the MCA technologies that we may not be having as of this moment, we can easily incorporate them. So we can include our own weapon systems, Indian weapon systems like Astra, BrahMos in Su-57, but we cannot do it right now in Rafale because we don't have a source code, and the French are not, and the Western countries are not very, very happy giving away their technology or the source code. So this is a major advantage, and also the Su-30 MKI that we are going to upgrade. We already have 50% of the infrastructure for Su-57 when we are looking at a Su-30 MKI upgrade. And that is the added advantage. And why am I pitching for this? Because it's not that I like the Su-57 because it's a Russian aircraft, though I love Russians. I can assure you that. I have worked with them in different countries. But they are reliable partners. They always give us the contemporary technology, and they never shy away, from helping us out in difficult situations.
I think you made a very strong point. I think because I've run short of time, I think you made a strong point. Transfer of technology and reliability. I think that is also very important between two countries when it comes to defense partnership. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me on this second on point. But I also have a third on point. And third on point is about the purchase, the so-called purchase of the Russia's S-500 defense system. What does it mean for India? As Russian President Vladimir Putin heads for New Delhi, India wants to build upon S-400's success during Operation Sindoor. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed that the major defense agreement, including S-400 air defense system, are expected to be discussed during Putin's visit. While India wants to expand the S-400 arsenal, it is also eyeing S-400's far superior successor, S-500 Prometheus. During India's offensive operations in May this year, 400, popularly known as Sudarshan Chakra, detected, tracked, shot down multiple Pakistani aircraft deep inside Pakistani airspace. The system was so effective during Operation Sindoor that India is now seeking 5 more S-400 regiments. On this issue, I am joined by Group Captain Retired V.N. Jha, Senior Scientist, Aerospace and Joint Director. On my right side, please continue to read the difference between S-400 and 500, but without wasting time, I'll just go to Mr. Jha. So, is it correct to say that the S-500 are a completely different ball game?
No, I won't say that. But surely S-500 is upgrade from the S-400. There are many pros and cons about it. Remember, S-400 is battle proven. S-500 is not. But there is one small factor which must be remembered by Indian Armed Forces and the Directorate of Ministry of Defense. That is, S-400 is also with China, S-500 is not yet. So while dealing with China, possibly that could become an edge, but then I don't know whether in the coming months or coming years, China will not procure it or they will not replicate the same system within their territory. China and Russia has got that unlimited defense partnership in which it is always possible that Russia can always give this system to China. So that also nullifies the benefit that S-500 may. But then, what happens? India is not solely dependent for the air defense system on S-400. Look, S-400 can make a kill, as you are displaying your slides, make a kill almost about, say, 80 kilometers above the air in the atmosphere. But remember, we have got two very potential and potentially lethal system, air defense system. One is Prithvi 1, which can make a kill at the range of about 200 to 300 kilometers at an altitude of about 80 kilometers or so above the Earth's surface. Another system, AAD missiles, Advanced Air Defense System missiles. This also can shoot incoming ballistic missiles at altitude of about 30 kilometers, about 150 to 200 kilometers apart. So we are not a newer a nave in this particular field. We have got Prithvi 1 missile air defense system. We have got AAD missile air defense system. We have got Barak 8, which is also very effective. It makes a kill at almost about 100, about 100 odd kilometers. So all these are available with us. In addition to that, there is a Akash air defense system, there is a Spider system, there are Pichora systems. All these are there in the Indian arsenal. So we are not, desperately banking onto the S-400 or S-500. Surely S-400 has given us additional lethal edge over Pakistan in the previous Operation Sindoor, but it is a gainer. It will make a gain. But S-500, look, PM Modi has given a mandate to DRDO now to make Sudarshan Chakra. In this Sudarshan Chakra, many more advanced versions of the missiles with the...
Okay, let me ask this question, sir. Do we have the capacity to intercept hypersonic missiles? Because now I think the entire the development is towards those missiles which cannot be intercepted. 10 Mach, 9 Mach, making interception impossible. Isn't that so, sir?
It is not only 9 Mach, 10 Mach. It is 15 Mach, 20 Mach. The one arsenic what Russia had fired, it is about 17 Mach of the terminal velocity. No one can shoot it down. There is no time to track it and then make a counter offensive against it. There is no time. But remember, most of these hypersonic missiles are not nuclear armed, because even for the nuclear detonation to take place above the surface, there needs to be a time for the detonation mechanism, for the height to be perceived, and then make the detonation system happen. So even there, it is a reasonably safe option. We should not be waylaid by that, okay, so-and-so has got a hypersonic. No problem. Let them have hypersonic. But when it comes to the missiles, that lethal capacity of the nuclear arsenal, their interception is the one, and reasonably good target acquisition is the one what makes all the difference. Look, most of the missiles, as you may look, it doesn't come like this. It doesn't come here. The moment approximity happens, there's a detonation in our air defense system, whether it is S-400 or Prithvi Air Defense System or AD, that detonates. And the fragments of it, that damages the incoming missile, and that is made neutralize the impact of it. Even the range goes down, target goes down, everything goes hayward, and that missile is made non-effective. So remember this, and then in light of this, India has to look 30 years, 40 years beyond, in which PM Modi has given...
Are you saying that there is no deterrence to a hypersonic delivery system?
There could be in the coming days. Work is already happening both in India and abroad. There could be a deterrence. What right now, for a missile like arsenic and some more, which has got Mach value of terminal Mach velocity of about 10 Mach beyond.
Do you think BrahMos can be intercepted? It's a supersonic missile?
Yeah. It is a supersonic missile. About 2.2 to 2.5 is the Mach is the velocity. It can be intercepted. There is no problem. But hypersonic, when we are calling, hypersonic is only beyond 6 Mach of the velocity. And these ballistic missiles, what we are talking, it has got the terminal velocity of 12 to 18 Mach. 12 to 18 Mach. It's a phenomenal amount of velocity. Before you blink, it has already hit you. And we have seen an example of this happening in the Ukrainian territory. So that is the type of threat hypersonic missile poses. Even India has got the hypersonic missile capability. India has. So these threats should be perceived by the enemy, and it is a deterrence there in that. For the nuclear, yes, there has to be an effective air defense system. Remember when this battle was going on, Operation Sindoor 1, there was one missile by Pakistan fired at Delhi, but that was intercepted effectively by our own missile defense system. So these pros and cons will continue happening. The technological advancement in the missile.
But don't you think we need an upgrade of S-400, sir?
Oh yes, that is one area where we must work with the Russians, because in the target acquisition system, where intricacy comes the maximum, that target acquisition system of late in India by DRDO itself has been worked on, and today its variation is about say 0.5 meter, just about that much. So it is that accurate right now, but it has to be even lesser than that, so that no missile goes without hitting that incoming target. So those are the area where it has to work in, and then integrate it with the other systems also that I have named to you. Prithvi Air Defense System, Advanced Air Defense System, Akash, Spider, Barak, keep on naming it. Gone are the days when we used to have Pechora 2. Pechora 2 missiles used to look like ballistic missiles, huge one. Pechora 3 was much smaller, sleeker one with a limited range. Pechora 4 is gone. Now all this new generation of the missile, S-125 Pechora has come, S-200 has come. So these are much inferior to S-400. But S-500 is not yet battle proven. In case if Russia is interested in co-developing with the Indian specifications of the face value added to it, when let it be, and then both Russia and India can work together, make a joint development plan, make a face values, that additional face values that will be introduced into the next version of the missile, let that be introduced, and then co-production of both countries may happen all together, and this will be a very effective air defense system. Karthik.
Thank you so much. I think you have put the pros and cons of S-500 in place, and yes, the fact of the matter is maybe even the Chinese may be getting access to this technology because the Russians have close relationship with them. But the fact is India also needs these technologies, and the important thing is Russians are always available to us in the context of the transfer of technology, and I think that's where the story is. So this is all I had on Point today. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and good night.
सोच रहा हूँ टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले लूं ताकि मेरे बाद फैमिली को पैसों की कमी ना हो।
तू भी ले ले।
अबे जल्दी क्या है, बाद में देख लेंगे।
आराम से आराम से आराम से।
अपने कुणाल को हार्ट